Commander Zuravex stood tall on the observation deck of her ship, the Imperial Claw. Her blue-gray skin gleamed under the bright lights. 4 yellow eyes narrowed as she watched the video playing on the large screen. On it, human soldiers fought in a battle on a dusty planet. "Look at them," she said with a laugh. Her voice was deep and smooth. "So small and weak. They run from danger instead of facing it." Around her, 12 Keldari officers watched the video. Most of them laughed with her. The Keldari were all tall, with 4 arms and tough skin that could stop small bullets. Next to them, humans looked like children. "This one tries to save his friend." Zaravex pointed to a human soldier dragging another to safety. "Emotional weakness. In battle, you leave the weak behind." Sub-Commander Telok stood quietly at the back of the room. Unlike the others, he didn't laugh. His lower left hand tapped nervously on his weapon. "Commander," he said softly, "these humans fought hard against us. They may be small, but what?" Zaravex turned to him. "They lost. We now control their colony on Proxima Centauri. We have beaten 12 other alien races before them. Humans are just the newest to bow to the Keldari Empire." The room grew quiet. No one wanted to disagree with the commander. "Change the video," she ordered. The screen switched to show the human colony on Proxima Centauri. It was a beautiful place with tall buildings surrounded by farms and forests. Now, Keldari ships hovered over the main city. Alien soldiers walked the streets. "Our new territory," Zaravex said with pride. "The humans surrendered 3 weeks ago, after we destroyed just 2 of their ships." She walked around the room, looking at each officer. "But some humans still fight. Small groups hide in the forest and mountains. They attack our patrols and sabotage our equipment." Her voice grew harder. "This must end." She touched a control, and the screen showed 5 humans in a prison cell. They wore dirty clothes and had cuts on their faces. "We caught these resistance fighters yesterday. They tried to blow up one of our communication towers." She smiled, showing sharp teeth. "In 3 days, we will execute them in the city center. All humans will watch. They will learn what happens when they oppose the Keldari Empire." The officers nodded in agreement. "I am the new military governor of this colony," Zaravex continued. "Under my rule, humans will learn their place. They will work for us, obey us, and fear us." She walked to the window and looked down at the planet below. "Their so-called warriors are nothing to fear. They break easily. Their bodies are soft. Their emotions make them weak." What Commander Zaravex didn't know was that her words were being recorded. In the ship's communication room, a small device hidden under a console sent her speech to someone below on the planet. "You are dismissed," Zaravex told her officers. "Prepare for my trip to the surface tomorrow. I want to inspect the prisoners myself." As the officers left, Sub-Commander Telok stayed behind. "Commander, if I may speak freely," he said quietly, "I studied humans during the war. They can be surprising." Zaravex laughed. "Are you afraid of these creatures, Telox? They are half our size. Their bones break easily. Their ships burn like paper." "Not afraid, Commander. Just cautious. They adapt quickly and—" "Enough," she cut him off. "Your caution is noted. Now go do your job." Alone on the deck, Zaravex watched the planet turn slowly below. Soon, the humans would know true fear. She would make sure of it. Down on the planet, the recording of her speech reached its destination, a small resistance cell hiding in the mountains, led by someone the commander would soon wish he had taken more seriously. Lisa Carter wiped sweat from her forehead as she fixed the broken harvester. The sun was hot on the farms outside the main colony city. Around her, other humans worked quietly, watched by Keldari guards. "Almost done," she told the farmer who owned the machine. Her voice was friendly, but her eyes stayed sharp, always watching the guards. No one looking at Lisa would guess she was once Sergeant Lisa Carter of Earth's Special Marine Forces. Now she wore dirty work clothes and kept her black hair cut short. Her strong hands, once used for combat, now fixed farm equipment. But this was her cover. By day, she was just a mechanic. By night, she was the leader of the colony's strongest resistance cell. "Thank you," the farmer said quietly. He slipped a small data chip into her hand when the guards weren't looking. "From our friend in the communications tower." Lisa nodded and put the chip in her pocket. She packed up her tools and headed back to town on her old electric bike. The colony had changed since the Keldari arrived. New alien buildings stood tall among human homes. Keldari soldiers walked the streets. Their 4 arms carried weapons, and their tough skin shimmered in the sunlight. Lisa rode to her small apartment above a repair shop. Once inside, she locked the door and checked for bugs or cameras. Finding none, she pulled out the data chip and plugged it into her hidden computer. A voice recording played. It was Commander Zeravex speaking to her officers, mocking human warriors and planning to execute the captured resistance fighters. Lisa's hands tightened into fists. She had lost friends in the short war with the Keldari, good soldiers who fought bravely. Now this alien commander laughed at their sacrifice. 3 days, she whispered. "We have 3 days to save them." She sent a coded message to her team. An hour later, as darkness fell, 3 people slipped into her apartment through the back door. Sam Miller came first. The big man used to be a colony security officer before the invasion. Now he worked loading cargo at the spaceport, which gave him access to ship schedules. Next came Diane Wright, a doctor with short gray hair. She had served as a medic in Earth's Navy before moving to the colony. She now worked in a clinic where both humans and Keldari were treated. Last was Kyle Adams, young and thin with quick eyes. He had been a communications expert for the colony government. The Keldari kept him working on their systems, not knowing he understood their technology better than they thought. "You all heard the recording?" Lisa asked. They nodded. "They're going to kill Jeff and the others in 3 days," Sam said, his voice low and angry. "We can't let that happen." Lisa played the recording again. They listened to Commander Zeravex mock human warriors. "She thinks we're weak," Lisa said when it finished. "She thinks humans break easily." She looked at each of her friends. "That's her mistake." "But what can we do?" Diane asked. "The prison is in the main Keldari base. We can't fight our way in." Lisa smiled slightly. "We won't have to. They think we're predictable, that we only know direct attacks." She pulled out a rough map of the Keldari base that they had been building from bits of information. "They expect strength. We'll use something else." "What's the plan?" Kyle asked. "First, we need more information," Lisa said. "Kyle, what do you know about their security systems?" As her team gathered around the table, Lisa felt a fire inside her that had been quiet since the surrender. The commander's words echoed in her mind. "Their emotions make them weak." No, Lisa thought. "Our emotions make us strong." She looked at her determined team. "And you're about to learn that lesson, Commander." The old mining tunnel was cold and damp. Lisa and her team sat around a small light that cast long shadows on the rocky walls. Above them, hidden microphones would warn if anyone came close. "The prisoners are here." Kyle pointed to a spot on the digital map floating above the table. "The Keldari base has 3 levels. They keep the prisoners on the lowest level." Sam leaned forward, his large hands on the table. "Guards. At least 10 at all times," Kyle said. "And they change every 6 hours." Lisa studied the map. The Keldari base was built where the colony government building once stood. She knew the old building well. The Keldari had changed it, but not completely. "There's something they don't know," Lisa said. She touched the map, and it zoomed in on the east side of the building. When they first built the colony, they'd put in maintenance tunnels under all the main buildings. Most were closed later, but some still exist. Diane looked surprised. "You think there's a way in through the old tunnels?" Lisa nodded. I was part of a security team that checked them 5 years ago. There's one that comes close to the prison section. The Keldari probably don't even know it exists. But we still need to get past guards and security systems, Sam said. That's where we all come in, Lisa said. She turned to Kyle. What about their communications? Kyle smiled slightly. I've been studying their systems while fixing their equipment. Their security uses bioverification. It checks for Keldari life signs, but I found a way to fool it. He held up a small device. This can make the system think we're Keldari for about 30 seconds. Enough time to get through doors. Lisa nodded and looked at Diane. What about the medical side? Diane reached into her bag and pulled out several small injectors. These contain a sedative that works on Keldari. It's something I mixed from our medicines and theirs. One shot will put a Keldari to sleep for 10 minutes. No lasting harm. Good, Lisa said. We're not killers. We just want our people back. Sam crossed his arms. And weapons? Limited, Lisa admitted. I have my old service pistol with 2 charge packs. And you have yours. Plus these, Sam said, opening a small case to show 4 shock beacons. Took them from the security office before the Keldari arrived. Lisa looked at her team. Each had skills the others didn't. Together, they might have a chance. Here's the plan, she said. We enter through the old maintenance tunnel tomorrow night. Kyle gets us past the electronic security. We find the prisoners, free them, and leave the same way. What about guards we can't avoid? Diane asked. Sedative first, Lisa said. Force only if necessary. And if we're caught? Sam asked the question they all were thinking. Lisa's face was serious. Then we share the same fate as the other prisoners. But that won't happen. The Keldari expect direct attacks, frontal assaults. They think that's how humans fight because that's what they saw in the war. She stood up and walked around the table. But we were special forces. We know other ways to fight. Ways they haven't seen yet. There's one more thing, Kyle said. I just got word from our contact in the command center. They've moved up the execution. It's not in 3 days. It's tomorrow at midday. Everyone went quiet. Then we go tonight, Lisa said firmly. No more planning. No more waiting. She looked at each of them. The commander thinks human warriors are weak because we care for each other. She sees that as a flaw. Lisa's voice grew stronger. But that's exactly why we'll win. We fight harder for those we care about than they ever will for their empire. Her team nodded in agreement. We leave in 4 hours, Lisa said. Get ready. As they prepared their equipment, Lisa thought about Commander Zuravex and her mockery of humans. Soon, the commander would learn just how wrong she was. Lisa walked through the busy market near the Keldari outpost. She wore a gray maintenance uniform with a patch showing she worked on environmental systems. A cap covered her short black hair, and she carried a toolbox that hid more than just tools. Her earpiece buzzed. Kyle here. You're clear to enter. The security shift changes in 5 minutes. On my way, she said quietly. The Keldari outpost was a tall building with curved walls that shone in the morning sun. 2 guards stood at the front door, each with 4 arms and weapons. Lisa didn't go that way. Instead, she walked to the back where the waste systems connected to the colony's lines. A single guard stood there, looking bored. When he saw Lisa, he straightened up. Maintenance, Lisa said, showing her fake ID card. Got a report of bad smells coming from the waste system. The guard looked at her card and grunted. Humans, always complaining about smells. He waved her through without checking her toolbox. Don't touch anything you don't need to. Lisa nodded and entered the building. Inside, she followed the maintenance tunnels up to the main level. Her heart beat faster, but her hands were steady. Years of training kept her calm. She found a maintenance closet and changed into a cleaning uniform she had hidden there yesterday. Now she could move more freely through the building. As she pushed a cleaning cart down a hallway, she saw a group of Keldari officers coming toward her. She kept her head down, but her eyes missed nothing. In the middle of the group was a tall female Keldari with commander markings. Lisa's breath caught. It was Commander Zarevex herself. The commander walked with confidence, her 4 yellow eyes looking straight ahead. She didn't even notice Lisa, as if humans were too unimportant to see. "The execution preparations are complete," one officer said to the commander. "The prisoners will be brought to the city center tomorrow." "Good," Commander Zarevex said. Her voice was smooth but cold. "Make sure all humans in the colony are there to watch. They need to learn the cost of resistance." They walked past Lisa without a glance. She pushed her cart slowly, listening. "The human warriors we captured were pathetic," the commander continued. "They cried when we took their weapons. One begged for mercy." She laughed. "So emotionally weak, so predictable in battle." Lisa's hands tightened on the cart handle. She knew the captured fighters. They were brave people who had families in the colony. The commander's words made her angry, but she kept her face blank. Suddenly, a pipe on the wall burst with a loud hiss. Hot steam filled the hallway. The Keldari officers jumped back, shouting in surprise. Without thinking, Lisa grabbed a tool from her cart and moved quickly to the wall panel. Her fingers found the emergency shutoff valve and turned it. The steam stopped. Commander Zarevex watched her with narrowed eyes. "You, human, how did you know what to do?" Lisa kept her eyes down. "Just basic maintenance training, Commander. All workers learn emergency procedures." The commander studied her for a moment. "Quick reaction. But that's just animal instinct, not true intelligence." She turned to her officers. "See, humans can be useful tools when trained properly." When they left, Lisa let out a slow breath. She had been face to face with the enemy, and the commander had seen nothing but a servant. It confirmed what Lisa already knew. The Keldari seriously underestimated humans. She touched her earpiece. "Kyle, I'm inside, and I just met our target." "Everything okay?" Kyle asked, sounding worried. Lisa looked down the hallway where the commander had gone. "Yes, but I've seen her now. She's exactly what we expected. Arrogant, dismissive." Her voice hardened, and completely unprepared for what's coming. She continued pushing her cart, now moving toward the security section. Tonight, they would put their plan into action. And tomorrow, Commander Zarevex would learn just how wrong she was about human warriors. Night fell over the colony. The 3 moons of Proxima Centauri cast long shadows across the empty streets. Most humans were in their homes, following the strict curfew set by the Keldari. Lisa met her team near the old water treatment plant. They wore dark clothes and carried small backpacks. "Everyone ready?" Lisa asked. Sam nodded, checking his shock baton. "Ready. The security systems are on night mode," Kyle said. "Fewer guards, but more electronic scans." Diane held up her medical bag. "I have enough sedatives for 8 Keldari. Let's hope we don't need them all." Lisa led them through dark alleys to an old maintenance entrance hidden behind overgrown plants. The door was rusty and looked like it hadn't been used in years. That was good. "Kyle, you're up," Lisa said. Kyle knelt by the door and attached a small device to the lock. The device lit up with green lights, and the door clicked open. "Too easy," Kyle whispered. They entered a narrow tunnel lit only by their small flashlights. The air was stale and smelled of rust and old water. Lisa moved first, remembering the path from years ago. "The tunnels connect to the lower level of the base," she explained quietly, "near the prison section." They walked for 20 minutes, sometimes having to crawl through tight spaces. Finally, they reached a metal ladder that led up to a hatch. Lisa climbed up and listened carefully. No sounds came from above. She pushed gently on the hatch. It opened into a dark storage room. "Clear," she whispered. One by one, they climbed into the room. They were now inside the Keldari base. The hard part was just beginning. Lisa checked her small computer. The prison is 1 level down and to the east. We need to move quietly." They left the storage room and entered a hallway. The lights were dimmed for night cycle. Lisa knew Caldari could see better than humans in low light, so they had to be extra careful. Suddenly, Kyle held up his hand. "Guards coming," he whispered, looking at his scanner. They quickly ducked into a side room. Through the small window in the door, Lisa saw 2 Caldari guards walk by. They were talking and not paying much attention. "They're too relaxed," Sam whispered. "They don't expect any trouble inside their own base." "That's their mistake," Lisa said. They continued down the hallway and found a service elevator. Kyle used his device to call it without triggering alarms. "This will take us to the lower level," he said. The elevator doors opened with a soft hiss. Inside, a single Caldari guard turned in surprise. Before he could reach for his weapon, Diane stepped forward and pressed her injector against his arm. The guard's eyes widened, then he slumped to the floor. "He'll sleep for 10 minutes, Diane said, dragging the guard into the room they had just left. They took the elevator down. When the doors opened, they faced a long corridor with cells on both sides. 2 guards stood at the far end. "I'll handle this," Lisa said. She took a small device from her pocket and tossed it down the hall. It made a loud bang and released smoke. The guards ran toward the noise, weapons ready. As they passed by a side corridor, Sam and Lisa stepped out behind them. 2 quick moves with the sedative injectors, and the guards were down. "Kyle, get these doors open," Lisa ordered. Kyle worked quickly on the cell control panel. "Got it." The doors slid open. Inside the first cell, 5 surprised humans looked up. They were thin and had bruises on their faces, but they were alive. "Lisa," one of them asked in disbelief. "How did you?" "No time to explain," Lisa said. "We're getting you out of here." Alarms suddenly blared through the base. Red lights flashed in the corridor. "Someone found the guards we left upstairs," Sam said. Lisa's mind raced. Their escape route was now compromised. "New plan," she said firmly. "We fight our way out." Red lights flashed and alarms screamed throughout the base. Lisa turned to her team. "Sam, take Diane and Kyle. Get the prisoners out through the maintenance tunnel. I'll create a distraction." "We're not leaving you," Sam argued. "This isn't a discussion," Lisa said firmly. "The mission is to save these people. Now go." Sam hesitated, then nodded. He understood military orders. "We'll wait for you at the backup point for 20 minutes, he said. Lisa checked her pistol and watched as her team led the freed prisoners down the corridor toward the maintenance entrance. Then she headed in the opposite direction, toward the center of the base. She moved quickly but carefully, using her training to stay hidden when guards ran past. Her goal was to reach the power control room. If she could cut the main power, it would create confusion and give her team more time to escape. As she turned a corner, she came face to face with 2 Caldari guards. She didn't hesitate. Before they could raise their weapons, she fired her pistol twice. Stun bolts hit them in the chest, and they fell to the floor, temporarily paralyzed. "Sorry about that," she muttered as she stepped over them. The power control room was just ahead. She could see its reinforced door. But as she approached, the door slid open. Commander Zaravek stepped out, surrounded by 4 elite guards. The commander stopped, her 4 yellow eyes widening slightly when she saw Lisa. Then she smiled, showing sharp teeth. "The cleaning worker," she said, recognizing Lisa from earlier. "I should have known. You moved too efficiently for a simple servant." Lisa raised her pistol, but the guards already had their weapons aimed at her. "Drop it," Commander Zaravek ordered, "or die where you stand." Lisa carefully placed her pistol on the floor. Her mind raced, looking for options. "You came for the prisoners," the commander said. "It wasn't a question. A foolish mission. My guards will catch your friends before they leave the base." "Don't be so sure," Lisa replied calmly. "Humans can be surprising." The commander stepped closer, studying Lisa with curious eyes. "You're not afraid," she observed. "Interesting. Are you one of their warriors? Sergeant Lisa Carter, Earth Special Marine Forces, Lisa said, standing straight and proud. The commander laughed. A human warrior. How delightful. The same warriors I've been studying and mocking. She circled Lisa slowly. You don't look very dangerous. That's your first mistake, Lisa said. Is it? You stand before me unarmed and alone. Your friends will soon be captured. Your resistance is crushed. Tell me, human warrior, what can you possibly do now? Lisa smiled slightly. I can adapt. With lightning speed, she pulled a small device from her sleeve and threw it to the floor. Bright light flashed, temporarily blinding everyone in the hallway. The Keldari, with their sensitive eyes, were affected more severely. Lisa didn't waste the opportunity. She dove for her pistol and fired at the guards. 2 fell immediately. The third managed to shoot back, but Lisa rolled aside, the energy bolt missing her by inches. Commander Zeravex recovered quickly. She drew her own weapon and fired at Lisa, who ducked behind a support column. You're fast, the commander called out. But Keldari are stronger. Strength isn't everything, Lisa replied. She noticed a fire suppression system on the ceiling. 1 well-placed shot, and the corridor filled with white foam. In the confusion, Lisa tackled the commander, sending both of them crashing through a door into an empty room. They rolled across the floor, separating as they came to their feet. The commander was taller and stronger, but Lisa was quicker and better trained in close combat. You wanted to face a human warrior, Lisa said, raising her fists. Well, here I am. Commander Zeravex's face showed surprise, then anger, then something else. Excitement. Perhaps I underestimated your species, she said, preparing to fight. Let's see what you're truly capable of. They circled each other slowly, 2 warriors from different worlds, ready for the battle that would decide everything. Commander Zeravex moved first, her 4 arms giving her an advantage. She swung at Lisa with incredible speed. Lisa ducked under the first 2 punches, but caught the third on her shoulder. The force sent her stumbling back. Is this all a human warrior can do? The commander taunted. Dodge and retreat. Lisa said nothing. She was analyzing her opponent, looking for weaknesses. The commander was stronger, but Lisa noticed she relied on her upper arms more than her lower ones, and she was overconfident. The commander attacked again. This time, Lisa was ready. She slipped past the first punch and moved inside the commander's reach. Close combat negated the advantage of 4 arms. Lisa struck 3 quick blows to the commander's midsection, finding a softer spot in the tough alien skin. Commander Zeravex grunted in pain and surprise. You hit harder than you look, she said. You talk too much during a fight, Lisa replied. The commander's face darkened with anger. She charged forward, all 4 arms swinging wildly. Lisa knew she couldn't match the alien's strength. Instead, she used the commander's momentum against her, stepping aside at the last moment and tripping the larger alien. Commander Zeravex crashed into the wall. Before she could recover, Lisa jumped on her back and locked her arm around the commander's throat. This is how human warriors fight, Lisa said through gritted teeth. We use our opponent's strength against them. We find weaknesses. We adapt. The commander struggled, trying to throw Lisa off. You can't win, she gasped. My soldiers will come. My team is already gone with the prisoners, Lisa said. Your plan failed. With a final burst of strength, the commander broke free and spun around. But Lisa was ready. She had grabbed the commander's own stun weapon during the struggle. She fired at point-blank range. Commander Zeravex froze, then fell to her knees. The stun effect wouldn't last long on a Keldari, but it gave Lisa enough time to secure the commander's arms with restraints. You defeated me, the commander said in disbelief as the stun effect began to wear off. How is this possible? You studied our tactics but never understood our spirit, Lisa explained. You thought caring for others made us weak, but it gives us strength. We fight harder for people we care about than you ever will for your empire." Lisa heard footsteps in the corridor. More Keldari soldiers were coming. She could kill the commander now and try to escape. It would be easy. Instead, she pulled the commander to her feet. "You're coming with me. Why not kill me?" Commander Zoravex asked, confused. "Because that's not who we are," Lisa answered. Using the commander as a shield, Lisa made her way through the base. No Keldari soldier dared fire with their commander at risk. They reached the maintenance tunnel and escaped into the night. 3 days later, at the Resistance hideout in the mountains, Lisa received important news. Sub-Commander Telox had contacted them, requesting a meeting. With the commander captured and the public executions prevented, the Keldari leadership was in disarray. When Telox arrived, he looked at his former commander, now a prisoner. "The High Command wants to negotiate," he told Lisa. "They've seen what happened here. One human warrior defeating our best commander has changed perspectives." Commander Zoravex sat silently, watching Lisa with new respect in her eyes. "You want peace?" Lisa asked Telox. He nodded. "We've reconsidered our approach to Earth and its colonies. The High Command believes a partnership might be more beneficial than subjugation." Lisa looked at the former commander. "And what do you think now about human warriors?" Commander Zoravex was quiet for a moment. "I think I have much to learn," she admitted finally. Lisa smiled slightly. "Then here's your first lesson. True strength isn't about having 4 arms or tough skin. It's about understanding your enemy, respecting them, and finding ways to live together." As word spread throughout the Keldari Empire about how a single human warrior had defeated one of their greatest commanders, other subjugated species began to stand taller. And the empire that had conquered 12 worlds began to change, all because one commander had mocked human warriors, then faced one herself.